What's up, everybody? This is Coach MJ, the coaching connoisseur, and I want to welcome you to our training broadcast for today. I was trying to wait until the lawnmowers outside stopped. It seems like every time I come to meet with you guys, the lawnmowers begin, but I didn't want to be running late for our appointment today because we're going to be talking about a very important topic. As you can see on the screen, I called it red pill, blue pill, harnessing the energy of decision. And so if you were alive anytime in the last several decades or older, you probably have heard of the movie The Matrix, the blockbuster film. And there was the motif throughout the film about the red pill and the blue pill. The red pill where your mind will be opened up to a greater knowledge and understanding of what's going on in the world, and the blue pill where you get to stay in ignorant oblivion. Right. And the person had to choose, the lead character had to choose between the red pill and the blue pill. And obviously he chose the red pill. And that's what the crux of the movie was about, is what his mind was open up to, what opportunities, what challenges were opened up to him because he made a decision. Right. He didn't just say, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm scared to make the wrong choice. He picked. I don't remember the movie that well, because it's been a lot of years, but I do know that he made a decision and it changed his life. And as I was preparing for this broadcast, I recognized that there are some parallels between that and what you guys go through, you ladies go through when you are wanting to level up your life. Specifically, when you decide that you want to go into business for yourself, or rather when you start toying with the idea. I'm not going to say decide, because actually a lot of you have not made that decision, and that's why you're staying stuck where you are in your life. So there's a difference between saying I'm interested in something, maybe I'll do something, I could do that, I should do that, I would do that, and actually making the decision. The definition of decision means that there is a cutting away. If you break down the root word of decide, I heard a coach talk about this the other day, is it literally means to cut away from. And so when you make a decision or you choose something and you stand in the decision one way or the other, you are saying you are cutting away or removing all other outcomes or all other possibilities. And that can be very scary for people. The reason why you're vacillating between, well, I can sell this, I can sell that, or well, I can do this, I can start my business now, or I can wait till the kids get out of school, or I can wait till, I hit this bonus at work and then I can do it. And all these other things is because staying stuck in all of the choices and talking about what you could do, what you would do if things were different, what you should do, that stops you from having to make any type of major change in your life. That stops you from having to actually make a decision, but it makes it look like you're doing something. So you tell yourself, yeah, I'm sick of, everybody that I ever talk to and tell what I do for a living, they say, oh yeah, I want to start my business too. And I always look at them because I always want to say, and depending on the person, sometimes I do say, what's stopping you? And then the excuses begin, right? And you might have said some of these in your life, right? And it's okay. It's no judgment here, but we have to face what it is that we're doing, because that's the only way you'll be able to change what it is that you're doing, is if you can admit what it is that you're doing. So we start with well, it's too expensive. Well, it's so risky. Well, I don't know how to do it. Meanwhile, you're on the internet, which is a literal wellspring of knowledge about any and everything that you want to do, have, become in life, right? So the not knowing, that excuse is out the window. Right now at your fingertips on the device that you use to make phone calls is all sorts of sources of knowledge, assistance, guidance, and all of that. So really saying that you don't know means that you haven't made a decision, right? Because after you make a decision, all of the resources, all of the supply, all of the answers come after you make a decision. So when I see a person still vacillating and wondering and procrastinating, that just means they haven't truly made a decision. Because once you make a decision to do something, then you have to move into action, because now you have a thing that you must work towards. Think about when you say things like, oh, I don't know, let's use going on vacation as an example. I love traveling. It's one of my favorite hobbies. And so when you say, man, I need a vacation. Like, let's say you had a rough day at work, a rough week, and you say, man, I sure could use a vacation. You don't end up on vacation because you said that. That just says you're complaining about not having a great week, and you see off in the distance that a vacation might be helpful to pull you out of the feeling that you're in right now of being overwhelmed and exhausted. But just saying, boy, I need some time off. You're just saying there's a lack, there's a gap, and you're focusing on what you don't have, which is a vacation. You're focusing on the fact that you say that you need one, but you haven't actually made the decision to take a vacation, which is why the next week you probably find yourself saying the same thing on Friday. Boy, I'm sick of these people. I need a break or I'm going to snap. And what you're doing in that moment is you're focusing on the problem. You're making more and more of the problem. You're speaking into existence more of what you don't want, which is exhaustion, which is annoyance with your coworkers, which is feeling overwhelmed, whatever those feelings are that make you say, I need a vacation. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. These people make me sick. Again, focusing on what you don't have, which is the feeling that you want to have of being rested, of being relaxed, of having some time away. Here's what a decision looks like. A decision looks like, boy, I had a rough week. You know what? I'm taking off the third week of June and I'm going to Tampa. Just throwing it out there. You know what? I enjoyed it last time I was in Florida. I'm going to get a beachfront hotel since since I stayed at a Hilton. I usually stay at Hilton hotels. I'm gonna get a Hilton on the beach, and you start to move into the space. But where was the decision? It's when you said, I am going to go on vacation the third week of June. That's the decision. And you stated it. You put it on your calendar. You tell your spouse, or maybe you and your spouse choose the date, but you say, honey, let's choose a date to go on vacation. And you choose a date. It goes on your calendar. Now it's real. Now you only have, it's October now. Now you only have 8 months. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have chose June, but you only have however much time to make it happen, because now you have stated it and you've put some meat on it and you said this will happen. A decision is saying this will happen, and then you put some more meat on the bones and say by this time. That's why goals that don't have dates on them are just ideas. But first you have to decide, I'm going on vacation. Then you turn it into a powerful, bold goal, and you put a date on it. You put specifics on it, like the hotel, where we're going to stay, how long we're going to stay. You start to plan it. Why? Because you put a date on it. But before that, you said it will happen. When you tell yourself something will happen or something is happening, because I like to put my goals in the present tense. Will can always be in the future, even with, if you put a date on it, that stops it from being far in the future. But I prefer to say I'm going on vacation on the third week of June. That means I have to do something to make that happen. Your mind doesn't know what's true and what's not true. It believes everything you tell it, and it activates your body and other parts of your mind to create the thing that you said is going to happen, or that you're going to do, or that you're going to have. But you have to decide first. And so when you're stuck in I don't know what kind of business I want to have, well, all you have to do is decide. If you have 5 options, just pick one. What's the worst that happens? You start down that path, you change your mind because maybe you learn something and it's not really for you, and then you go to a different path. But why people stay stuck is because you really don't want to make a decision, because you know that making the decision makes it what? Real. It's easy to complain about your finances. I don't make enough money. These people don't pay me enough. They don't pay me. This job doesn't deserve me. I agree. Your job doesn't deserve you. I don't care what you do for a living, how much money they pay you. I don't even know you. And I'm stating categorically across the board, nobody's job deserves them, especially not you, Black Queen. They don't deserve you. You're worth more. But maybe you don't have the entrepreneurial spirit. Maybe you'd rather stay in a job, and that's okay. But if you're watching this, that's probably not the case. Your job doesn't deserve you, but what are you going to do about it? That's where the decision comes in. A lot of times people come to me and say, boy, I sure would love to travel like you do, MJ. I'd love to be able to, make my own money, move about in the world the way I want to. And I'm like, okay, then you need to get in on this Build Wealth While You Travel challenge. And then you can see in their mind, they're saying, oh, I wasn't really going to do anything about it. I was just talking. I was just complaining. See, talking about something and complaining about things because you know that's not going to make them real, that's a place where you're going to stay trapped, right? Until you make a decision that I am going to, or I am starting a business this month, this week, and I know that Coach MJ is going to break it down for me over the course of 4 days, everything I need to do to start this amazing coaching business. Until you decide to join the challenge, until you decide to do whatever it is you need to do to be step one or to complete step one, then you haven't really decided. Decision is different from interest or toying with an idea. When you decide, you draw a line in the sand and say, from this point on, I am different. My identity is different because now I have adopted this new, thing that I'm bringing on. In the case of starting a business, now I am an entrepreneur. I'm not a full-time entrepreneur yet. My business may not have launched yet, but that's the identity I take on as soon as I decide to start a business. And then I say, okay, I don't know what to do. That means I need to deal with somebody who does know what to do, who can walk me down the path step by step. Just jumping out there and buying a bunch of stuff or just randomly, going here and going there without a strategy and a system is just going to discourage you. It's going to waste time because you're going to end up still being stuck exactly where you are with all of these choices. That's why having a coach, a mentor is so important. And I am a proponent of not only being a coach, but having coaches myself, because I don't want to have to reinvent the wheel or hope that I'm getting it right. Somebody who's already been there can help me to get there. But when you decide, this is about harnessing the energy of decision. And we're talking about red pill, blue pill. Remember how I said in the Matrix, the red pill opened up a world of new information about how things really were in that particular space in the Matrix. And it opened up new challenges and opportunities. The same thing happens when you decide to take the red pill and jump out there and start your business and become a world traveling, wealth building coach. It's going to open up a whole new world to you. People and opportunities and places and things and, learning opportunities and just ways of doing things, ways of conducting business, ways of building wealth. All of that will be open to you. And you'll be like, if you're anything like me, you'll be like, why did I never see this stuff before? Why did I never know about this particular guru before? Why is it I never knew you could do this on an ad platform and reach thousands of people in a matter of days? Why is it? Because you never decided that you were going to step into that space. And so you didn't need to know it. See, the resources show up after the decision. And a lot of you are waiting for all the answers to show up. I need to know how I'm going to pay for it and how I'm going to, when am I going to do this and when am I going to do that? Because you're trying to stay safe and you don't want there to be any risk and you don't want there to be any challenge. But here's the thing. Life is always going to be hard. You just have to choose what hard you want, because working for somebody else is hard. Trying to fit into their little culture every single day and not bringing your full self to work and not being able to be authentic and always wondering with every layoff, is it going to be me next? And always having to prove yourself when you've already proven yourself. That's hard. To me, that's a nightmare. And I lived it for years. And for those of you who have an inner entrepreneur in you waiting to come out, it's a nightmare for you too. But maybe you think because that's familiar that that's easier. No, it's not. It's a different type of hard. Trying to shrink your lifestyle from what you really want to fit your paycheck. That's hard, right? Having to build your life around having to be there 40 hours a week and deciding which week or 2 or 3 out of the whole year you're going to be able to be with your family on the beaches and on the urban centers of the world. That's hard. Trying to learn new things as a business owner, learning how to be a marketer, because every business owner is really an expert marketer if they are successful, and learning how to talk to people different and learning how to present yourself different, and how to put together courses and products and put them out in the marketplace. Now, to me, that's easy, but that's because I've been at it a while. But even when you're new at it, it's a different type of hard, but I guarantee it gets easier and easier and easier. And unlike with a job where if you want to make more money, you have to spend more time. with your business, if you set it up the right way, the longer you're in it, the less time it takes. And the easier things are. And the more and more and more you can take off of your plate instead of piling it on. The 16-hour entrepreneur life, 16-hour day entrepreneur life, that's not what I'm talking about. I don't live that. That's not what it is. It should be a leverage model that actually allows you to do more in less time and with less effort, right? But you have to decide that's what you want. So here's your first decision. You have to choose your hard, because I guarantee those of you who think entrepreneurship is harder, you just need more information. You just need the right system, the right strategy, the right support and guidance, because it's not. What's hard is waiting for somebody else to feed your family, for somebody else to decide the level of lifestyle you can have for the rest of your life, because that's what a paycheck does. I don't care how much you make. There's only so much a person is going to pay you to work for them, because they're taking the majority of the money, right? They're only going to pay you so much. And if they have thousands of employees, you're just a cog in the wheel. And you might realize that. And if you don't, I promise you it's true. But why let somebody else decide for you? And they're deciding, right? When they put that job on the job board, they decided this job is worth $25 an hour. This job is worth $60K a year to our bottom line. So you have to line up with what they want, with the decisions that they have made. They, the boss, they, the entrepreneur that creates the company you work for. You're letting their decisions dictate your life instead of taking back control of your own decisions and harnessing that energy that comes from that to create the lifestyle and the future that you want. How much longer are you going to allow that to happen, my sister, before you realize it's not going to change? You can keep getting promotion after promotion, but let me tell you something. There's a place where it's going to end, because unless you're going to buy the company, there's only so far you're going to go. Meanwhile, on the inside, your hopes, your dreams, your ideas are dying on the vine because you're not able to live them out every day. Oh, you might do a little thing here and there, like right back in the day, before I worked for myself, I've always been an event planner. And I had little events I would do on my own and start little organizations and do little things. That wasn't enough, because I'm supposed to be on this greater level. And so are you. You're also supposed to be playing on a greater scale. God did not give you everything he's given you for you to do it on nights and weekends after you're exhausted, after you've given the boss man all of your time, all of your energy, and you're getting pennies in return for what you're worth. But guess what? I'm not in the business of convincing people that you need to create a different future for your family. That decision is up to you. But once you decide that you want different, you want more, then the resources open up. And quite frankly, for some of you, that's exactly why you're watching this video. You're looking for more. You want more. You have things that you can share with the world, ideas, creativity, products, services, hope that you can give to your future clients when you coach them out of their pain. But you first got to get out of your pain, just like on an airplane where it says you got to put your oxygen mask on before you can help somebody else put theirs on. It's the same thing. In order for you to be able to bring your gifts to the world and authentically draw people into your universe where you can bless them as their coach, you have to be willing to put your oxygen mask on and get some help yourself. It's impossible to tell other people from an authentic place that they need to get help for their problems if you're not willing to choose to get help for yours. And why would you want to reinvent the wheel anyway? All the work's already been done. It's already been laid out for you in the upcoming Build Wealth While You Travel Challenge. This is where Black women are going to be able to learn step by step over the course of 4 short days how to start from your idea, the expertise that you have right now, because everybody is an expert, to creating a coaching universe where you can share your expertise in the world. And even if it's something that you're already doing in your job, I guarantee you're not doing it completely the way you would want to, because the employer has their say and their ideas about how you should use your genius to help their bottom dollar. What if you could use your genius to build your bottom dollar? You keep all the money or the majority of the money, because you're going to have a team to scale to the wealthy level. But the bottom line is, all those frustrating things that you have at work where you're like, oh my goodness, I'm able to do such and such, but then they won't let me do this other stuff. They don't see it that way. They don't understand it. They want to stay here. Guess what, ma'am? When you create your own business where you are in charge, where you are the one that creates the vision and the direction where your company's going to go, all those things that you've had to sweep to the side for decades because they don't understand or you don't have a voice there or they won't listen. You can bring all of that to the table. There is nothing more satisfying than being able to do all of the things, not just some of the things, but all of the things, all of your areas of giftedness every single day, bring them to the party and not have to worry about getting shot down. It's been years since I had to prove myself just for the sake of proving myself, like you doing a job. That stuff is exhausting and I don't miss it. And I know that those of you who are like me, who think the way I do, who are not cut out for the job world, it's exhausting for you too. So I ask you, are you ready to decide that today enough is enough? It comes with the decision. Don't worry about the how. Those of you trying to figure out the how first before you make the decision, that's why you're still stuck. It literally does not work like that in this world. You cannot get all the ducks in a row and then decide, because you won't even go and get the ducks in a row if you don't have anything you're working towards. And you will have something that you are working towards once you decided that you want to go somewhere different from where you're headed right now. So again, the decision is where it's at, where you cut away. Again, remember what I said the word decide means? It means to cut away from all other options and say, this is what I want. I've reinvented myself. Heck, I've reinvented my coaching business a few times as I find more things that I'm more and more passionate about. You can do that as well. So if you're afraid of making the wrong decision, let me help you out on that. You can always course correct. You can always switch it up. But the wrong decision is the one you don't make. The wrong decision is the one that's based on, or the lack of this is the lack of decision altogether, where it's based on fear of making a mistake, a fear of risk. It's risky where you are right now, sis, because you're letting somebody else decide how much your family and your future is worth. It's difficult right now because every day you're going in there and you know in your heart of hearts, you're not living up to your full potential. You know it. And there's nothing more soul sucking than telling yourself no over and over again. No to your dreams. It will never work. Nobody will pay me for that. And although they're lies, you just need to know how to make them pay you for it. They will. Because if it's something that God put in your heart, if it's something you've dreamed about for years, you're not the only one that believes in that. You're not the only one that wants that. But you are the one who is uniquely gifted to bring that to the world. And it's never going to go away. A lot of us, a lot of Black women, amongst many other things that we do struggle with in this society, the chip on the shoulder, and I'm gonna step on some toes here, but that's all right because I'm speaking this in love and I'm gonna speak the truth regardless. A lot of that chip on the shoulder and that anger that we have, some of it comes from the fact that overall we often cannot be ourselves, right? They try to put that strong Black woman stereotype on the tops of all of our heads. So that means we can't hurt, we can't make mistakes, we can't need help and all of that. Not being able to be yourselves, making yourselves look like a certain way to fit in, making yourself sound a certain way to fit in, making yourself do things you wouldn't normally do or in a way you wouldn't do them to fit into these jobs and these spaces where you don't belong. That's why a lot of us are angry. And that's why a lot of us need to get out of those spaces and start creating our own. But you have to decide that's what you want. It's never going to get easy. It can be made more simple, but it's always going to be a difficulty because as long as you're on this planet, stuff's going to be hard. But that's okay. Working a job is hard. Running a business is hard. But guess what? There's a whole lot more ease when you're in control, when you're calling the shots, than when you're trying to fit in somewhere that you don't belong. So if you are tired of vacillating between the decisions, which really just allows you to not make a decision, and you're ready to say, you know what, Coach MJ, I have been afraid to make a decision because I knew that would make it real. That's okay. I want to invite you to join the Build Wealth While You Travel Challenge, because guess what? I'm going to show you how to turn your secret sauce, your magic, your expertise into a thriving coaching business. And it ain't going to take years. It don't have to take months. It depends on how much work you put in. I can't control how you show up, but I can give you all the tools and the pieces that you're going to need to put together a business. And you're going to be like, why didn't I do this before? Ma'am, I don't know why you didn't do it before. Maybe you were waiting on this opportunity to get in on the Build Wealth While You Travel challenge. So go to buildwealthwhileyoutravel.com. Go there now, grab your VIP seat. The next challenge is coming up really soon. I don't know, I never know when all of them are going to be or when the next one's going to be. So don't assume that the opportunity quickly. The time is now. Make the decision that you want to become a world traveling, wealth building, epic coach. Say it now and then get in on this challenge that's going to show you exactly how to do it before the end of 2021. It is possible. And it is probable because you're going to have the right guidance, the right support, and all the other things that you need to succeed. But it's only going to happen when you start to take your dream seriously. It's not enough to say, I should do it. I could do it. A lot of people get stuck in could or I would do it. It's only enough to say, I am doing it. Not I will do. Don't do it in the future because will always pushes itself out in the future. I am doing it and I'm doing it now. BuildWealthWhileYouTravel.com. Get in on the challenge. Black woman, Black sister, Black lady. Get in on it, and I will see you at the top. It's been my pleasure to share with you today about the power of harnessing a decision. I hope you're ready to make a decision now to change your life. I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.